Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Hello and welcome to Stellar Tactics. It's an interesting game. It's a little interesting. It's kind of a cross between RPG and turn-based tactics, kind of like XCOM. We'll go ahead and jump into the prologue just to get a general idea of it. And I hope to do a few videos over this as well as some other games. We'll see how it goes. So while we're loading this, I have played this in the past a little bit. They have had a bunch of updates since the last time I've played it, which it's been, quite a while since I played this game. But I figured it wouldn't be a bad one to display. I haven't really seen anybody do any playthroughs on it, so I figured why not start with this one. Alright, so we have our character that we set up, and you can change between the two. And I'll just go ahead and go with my usual one right there.
Just need to reload and I'm ready to go.
And we'll go with that voice. That sounds good to me. And I do like the rifles in the game. They are pretty good. So I'll go ahead and put in a little bit of proficiency into that, a little bit into big guns. You know what? We'll just make it equal on both of those. And now you get 4 points to go into the hacking, crafting, repair, salvaging, as well as piloting, weaponry, electronics, targeting, and mining. Those are support and space. Obviously they state that over here, but I figured I'd point that out. So first aid might give a little bit just to start off on that. We'll do 2 in hacking. Hacking is kind of a pretty good thing to have, and then I'll throw 1 into piloting. And since we will be focusing more on ranged, let's go ahead and go through each one of these. Strength obviously helps with melee weapons, and then also gives a fixed amount to hit points, which is your health right there. Dexterity helps with hacking as well as repairing, so that's, since we are focusing a little bit more on that, I'll go ahead and throw a little bit of few points into that. And then endurance and intelligence will want to be a bit higher. That helps with psychic abilities as well as learning quickly, so leveling up fairly quick. And 1 more point, so since we are kind of main character and we want to be a leader, we'll add a little bit of points there, and we'll go ahead and name our character here and jump right in. And this is actually, or was, I believe they've grown a little bit since then, but it had been originally a solo developer that was just doing it on the side. Over time the community became interested, and if I remember right, they actually offered to help him out with getting further along in the process, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we're jumping right in here. Okay, there we go. And they do start you off with a little bit of a guide here, which is nice. There is a lot to the game to go through. As you can see, refineries, salvaging, crafting, mining, beacons, shielding, the whole shebang. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Hello! Can you hear me? Barely, you're breaking up. Broken junk. Still having problems hearing you? Click. That should do it. How about now? Oh, very good. I can see you now on the monitor. Yeah, it's much better. Exactly what is the situation? My name is Dr. Mortimer Ramos. You can call me Doc. I must apologize for your abrupt arousal. We have a most unusual circumstance. What triggered the emergency cryo-res? Well, you see, it was me. I did it. I triggered the emergency system. We have a problem. It seems there has been a phage outbreak. Normally something we could handle. However, this time it's a little more complicated. What do you mean, complicated? More about that later. First, are you fit? Any physical anomalies? How is your memory? Oh, so many questions. You seem well from what I can see. Very exciting. I think so. It's difficult to remember why we are here. I wonder. 1 minute. Yes, I see you have minor neurological damage. Likely nothing serious. I suspect over time you will recover. To answer your question, phage is a viral disease, quite deadly in more ways than one. However, a cosmic anomaly is the primary reason we are on this ship. I'll explain in more detail later. However, right now, we need to get you prepared. I assume you remember your training? Training, yeah, for the most part. Okay, let's get you equipped then. Meanwhile, I'll review the protocols for activating your mission parameters. Please proceed through the door. Alright. So, AWSD moves things around. And so we will get to it. And left click allows you to command your team, and we'll have to go right about there. There we go. Great! It looks like you can follow instructions. If the manual is correct, the lockers in this room contain your weapons and body armor, along with a few bits and bobs. Let's see. Okay, the protocol documented here states that you should equip yourselves. Got it. Let's get cracking. Time is of the essence. I'm reading through the mission protocol now, and I should be able to brief you momentarily. Fantastic! You look ready for business. Let me activate your data implants. This will only take a moment. What data implants? Good question. The manual says the team has had implants surgically applied. These implants receive and transmit data between squad members. The information is projected onto an ocular array, providing squad members with superior battle intelligence, communication, and rapid access to reference information. Data stored includes an active tally of on-hand equipment, mission parameters, blah blah blah. You kind of get the idea. I mean, you know. Roger that. Once the implants are activated, I should be able to communicate with you discreetly through your implants. Okay, let's see. If I press this button... How is that? It burns! Yes, you will get used to it. Now, there should be chests or boxes with ammunition and equipment you should gather as much as you can carry. When you are finished, head through the next door. I'll fill you in on the details of our situation. Alright, and then inventory and character. This is a good bit of info. I'll kind of just scroll through it a little bit. Feel free to pause as needed just to read through it. And then also here's the camera, movement and camera area. I'll go ahead and kind of scroll through that too so you can look it over. And then see, here's what I was about to mention is tab. If you hold down tab, it'll highlight objects you can either interact with or that might have items in it. They might also be a part of objectives. And then there's this where you can move your team with a left click, or you can also toggle that to where it's either a single person that you move around, like if you wanted to scout ahead a little bit or kind of move them into different positions to be tactfully ready for whenever you attack whatever assailant is around the corner, if you already know that they're there. So that comes in handy. So we'll go ahead and hold down tab. So in this playthrough we have 2 that we can go and ransack. So let's go ahead and pick that one. Alright, so we get 2 med kits from that. And if we go to this one, we get some more, another 2 med kits. That's good. So we have 4 med kits now and some ammo. Curious. Okay, so he still just gets a pistol and a rifle. Alright. So let's go ahead and move through the next door and proceed to the next part of the area. Okay, let me start at the beginning. I realize you may not remember why we are here. Phage is one of the reasons. A virus so insidious that it destroys the majority of life on our planet. We had endured wars between the great houses of our world for thousands of years. Climate change, plague, and starvation. We finally succumbed to a tiny invader that mutated so fast that our physicians and scientists couldn't keep up. So tiny and small, but yet such horrible beginnings. Alright, so should we continue? Yes, why not? Antigenic drift. Our immune systems would fight and lose. Most curious, this strain of the virus was different. It is as if it sought to meld with our physiology, a symbiosis, so to speak. Yet, it was unsuccessful, and the result was the destruction of the host. Fascinating in a way, yet horrible and deadly. The result was terrifying. The virus attached itself to our neurological system, destroying the host's brain, yet leaving the brain stem intact. The streets of our world were filled with mindless creatures, twitching and gyrating, bodies in motion with no purpose. Sounds pretty bad to me. It attacked all mammalian life, mutating human and beast. Soon, our sources of food were depleted, crops devastated, and water poisoned. That sounds like a great vacation to me. Kidding, not really. Within 20 years, our planet was decimated, cities overgrown, the only remaining law, the houses. They had retreated to their shelters, euthanizing any who showed signs of the disease and taking in those that could be proven immune. Grim days indeed. Immune? Yes. There were some who were immune to the phage. A very few. You are immune, as am I. In fact, this ship and 3 others are, I believe, all that remains of humanity. Hurtling across the universe. We are all immune. Or so we thought. What do you mean? I'll get to that. The result was a world with a bleak future. But we held on. And we made some progress. In fact, the houses had started to communicate again. Isn't that great? We found ways to cultivate safe foods and water. Plans were in place to venture forth again in an attempt to recolonize. Then something tragic and final occurred. Okay. An event so improbable and rare that it was inconceivable. Speeding towards our planet, an asteroid the size of a small moon. Are you sure it's a moon? I mean, it could be something else. There was only one solution left, the stars. Our scientists had long ago identified several planets revolving around nearby stars. We worked tirelessly, harvested the best ideas, and developed a plan. We are of that plan. We built great ships, one of which you are on now, the Dauntless. One of 4 that contain the sleeping remnants of humanity. 4 giant ships speeding across space at just below the speed of light, aimed at 2 likely new home systems, separated by a mere 2 light years. Both the best last solution for our people. There is much more I can say, but this is not the time for an extended history lesson. It's time to discuss the here and now. Yes, why you woke us. You are actually a very well hidden secret. I was not aware of your existence. You are a member of a tactical squad whose sole purpose is to eliminate any hostile threat to our mission. That is, the mission of arriving at our destination. Very highly trained and apparently surgically and genetically modified. I had often wondered what was behind the door. Please explain the threat. Yes, well, murder. That and a phage outbreak. Several of our crew members have been murdered, and others may be infected. I am locked in the bridge and only just stumbled across information about you while searching through emergency protocols. The ship is on lockdown, and I need your help to stabilize the situation. Exactly who was murdered, per se? 2 of my colleagues. I suspect more. I watched Emily Jensen murder Jason Taft, myself, while we were in the living quarters. Mayhem after that. There must be survivors. Engaging the emergency protocols has locked down the ship. Most of the cameras and communications are offline. Emily Jensen? Emily Jensen, Dr. Jensen, is our lead immunologist. Her job is to check samples from the fluidic chambers to analyze viral stasis and immune systems. Stability. She works with our team to troubleshoot issues related to long-term cryosuspension and physical degradation. Unlike you and me, the 125,000 residents of this ship are suspended in fluidic chambers. A safer and much more stable form of deep sleep. Jason Taft. Jason Taft was the system engineer. Well, one of 2 system engineers. You see, we take shifts. Every 200 years, 2 shifts wake up to caretake, monitor, which is to monitor the sleepers, as we call them. Our journey is a total of around 10,000 years, near the speed of light. 1,000 years of acceleration, 8,000 years travel time, and another 1,000 years of deceleration. I'll age 34 years by the time we reach our destination. Interesting, right? Alright, why did Dr. Jensen murder Jason Taft? That is a very good question and complicated. You see, they greatly disagreed on the nature of a discovery we had made recently. They had never gotten along. Oil and water, you see. She is dangerous, and you should not hesitate to put her down. Put her down? Is that our mission? Yes. That and rescue any other team members that may be alive. We need this situation stabilized immediately. We cannot continue with our mission and revive replacement crew members until this situation is resolved. Your first mission is to restore power to the elevators. You will find an emergency engineering terminal near each of the 4 core reactor nodes on this level. Manually override the emergency protocols at all 4 engineering stations. Following that, terminate Emily Jensen. I'll be in touch. We will decide whether or not Dr. Jensen should be terminated. I highly recommend that you eliminate her on sight. She is emotionally unstable and quite dangerous. We shall see. I've added a mission entry into your log. You can reference the details of your mission as needed. Let's get that lift online. Alright, so let's get to it. I've got to remember which way to go. I believe... Okay, so that's the escape pods. They're offline for the moment. There's the bridge. So we want to go this way. Yep, there's the... And then yellow is the mission items, or quest items. So we want to go ahead and get each one of these activated. There we go. There's the first one. Now let's move to the second one. There we go. And then we'll just continue moving on. Let's see. Ah, we've got a crate right here that we can loot. So that'll be perfect. And there's the next one. Let's grab this last one over here. There we go. Wonderful. Now proceed to the elevator. The override has unlocked the doors just ahead of you. When you get there, take the elevator down to the crew deck. Oh, right, okay. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of this then. Alright, so we get 3 medkits and some ammo. Perfect. And there we go. You won't be able to get to the vats. The entry deck is locked down. I'm not sure what the problem is, but we can deal with it when we have more information. Vats? Yes, the vats are large fluidic suspension chambers. Suspension containers, sorry. The remnants of the human race are sealed in these containment chambers in a deep, stable cryosleep. Each vat contains just over 260 human beings. There is a total of 8 vats per module, 60 modules on this ship. Yeah, you can do the math. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward. See if we get lucky and find anything else to loot. Nope, does not look like it. Alright, let's get to the elevator. Okay, and then Q recenters onto the selected character. If you hold down the right mouse, you can actually rotate everything around. Ah, here we go. Wait! My goodness! Is that... Yes. I think it is. This is very bad. The viral symptoms are greatly accelerated over previous iterations. You must be very careful. What is the problem? What exactly is the problem? One of my colleagues, Kelly Masters, seems to have acquired the virus, phage. I can see her just around the corner on my monitor. She seems to to have acquired a taste for flesh. Horrific, an advanced symptom of the phage. Usually, symptoms like this take many months to manifest. A truly grisly sight. I'm quite shaken. What are the symptoms of the phage? The infected become non-responsive. After a high fever, the virus begins to change the physiology of the person it infects, rapidly necrotizing the skin, especially areas exposed to the air. Internally, it slows the heart, changes the way the blood distributes oxygen and glucose, and then destroys the high-level functions of the brain. The virus attacks the cells and reorganizes the way they utilize food energy. The infected develop an appetite for protein, which then seems to be their primary physiological drive. The entire process can take over 8 months to play out. I see. And what do you recommend? You must be very careful. At this stage, the infected will attack anyone not infected or in the early stages of phage infection on site. They are fast, strong, and relentless. You must terminate Kelly Masters immediately. I am terribly concerned. There seems to be a body in the corridor, and I cannot make out who it is. Once you terminate Dr. Masters, please search the body for any evidence that could identify it. I cannot believe how quickly Kelly's infection has advanced. Is the virus airborne? Should we be concerned? No. The virus is not airborne. At least I don't think it is. You should be immune, but Dr. Masters, she was also immune. You, however, have the advantage of a genetically modified metabolism. You were born with a hard-coded immune response to viruses. Basically, immune to all viral disease. Quite amazing. You are a weapon designed to destroy phage. So, unless the phage has developed more than accelerated pathogenesis, you should be safe. I, however, will remain where I am. Good luck. Alright, so here we go, combat. And you have action points that you can use. I would recommend, whenever you're playing the game, try to leave at least 2 action points left over. That way you can actually go in and go into defensive mode. It's just kind of better that way. Now, since the body is here, I would assume that our enemy is going to be right there. So, with that being said, let's use single movement to our advantage. Oh. Well, I was wanting to actually get a little bit better positioned, but I guess we're going to do this. Okay, so we can crouch, which takes 1 action point. We'll move forward. There we go. So we get a brief glimpse. There we go. Now I can either do a single shot or a burst shot. F is to change between single and burst. So we'll go ahead and do a single shot so we can go ahead and defend. Plus you have, if you do burst shot, you get 10% less likely, or well, actually it's like 9% less likely to hit. So 54 versus 63. So let's go ahead and do that, and then use our last 2 action points to get into a defensive stance. There we go. We only took 5 damage from that. That's not too bad. Okay, so... Oh, you know what? We did not allocate... Let's see, so are you more into hand-to-hand combat? Yes, you are. Alright, so we'll give a little bit dexterity. Strength, agility, and dexterity help with... Well, dexterity just is a general, all-around help with all techniques. Hand-to-hand, close, short-range weapons, and the likes. Agility and strength help with melee. Endurance is just basically gives you more health. Perception helps with weaponry. And so we'll just throw one there. So unfortunately, because we're in combat, and I did not think to check that, we won't be gaining a lot of health this time around. Yet. But that's okay. The nice thing is switching weapons does not require action points. So you can switch weaponry. So we have a knife and a rifle. We're not very proficient with it per se, but if we do single burst shots, and we're also crouched, so we have a little better aiming, so that's not so bad. We ought to be able to, hopefully, there we go, get at least one shot off. And then we'll move forward, there we go. And then spacebar ends the turn. See, we have someone with a submachine gun, which is good. It's not the best at long range, but it isn't too bad. But thankfully everybody has rifles. So we'll go ahead and try and hit. Unfortunately we did not, so we'll just go ahead and defend. And then our buddy here, we'll go ahead and increase a little bit here. There we go. And then just see if we can advance all the way and give a good old hit. Yeah, there we go. So with increasing the strength, agility that we did, that gave us that extra boost we needed to get a good hit off. So now we've just got to be careful. Alright, so we're pretty close here now. So if we do use our rifle, it's not going to give us a good range. For close range, we'd have to move away. So the best thing to do is to whip out the pistol and take a few shots this way. And we'll defend. Okay. So now we have our other person here. I'm just gonna do the first shot. See if any of them hit. Unfortunately, they did not. We'll just take our last shot since there wasn't that much health left. And there we go, we got him down. Well done. Dr. Masters was a truly gifted person in life. We worked together closely before the start of this mission. I'm not sure what to say. I'm truly sorry. Thank you. Nothing to be done other than to save anyone left alive. Let's move on. Please proceed to the elevator and the crew quarters deck. Alright, so we'll go ahead and select our other person here. See what okay, so she's into submachine guns. We'll go ahead and put one into strength, 2 into agility, 1 more into endurance, 2 into perception to help with weapons ability, and we'll go ahead and assign some points to intelligence. There we go. Let's see, we've gained a little bit of experience, so that's good. We're making our way to the next level. And so, one thing that I will do is go ahead and throw in our med kits. I believe I gotta remember how to do this. It's been a little bit. I gotta remember how to do the quick bar stuff. There used to be a way. Oh wait, duh, they're right there. That's right. So you have your med kits on the left, or on the right, I'm sorry, and then you have your grenades on the left. Now, I believe, let's see, right click to select med kit type. So you can right click and then you can choose between the two different med kits you have available. There is also large med kits as well, and you can choose between those. And then on the right, you have frag grenade, stun grenade, EMP grenade, gas grenade, and smoke grenade. So, it's a pretty interesting game. Let's go ahead and get on into the elevator and... Oh wait, before we do that, let's go ahead and identify this poor fellow. Okay, there we go. Marty Devereaux. And there we go. What a fate. I hope he didn't suffer. Marty was one of several engineers on our shift. Very nice guy. Kept the ship running. We played cards a few times a week on the crew deck. I'll see that he gets a proper ceremony when this is over. Okay, let's see if there's any... Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead. Grab some ammo there and some random components. That's a good thing. They'll come in handy later on, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and get everybody on the elevator. And alright, that'll wrap it up for this playthrough. If you enjoyed this video, please leave some comments down below. I'll also have the game in the description, a link to the game in the description. And if you enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe. I will be trying to do, hopefully, if the recording software I'm currently using will cooperate, of at least 2 or 3 videos a week, depending on how much editing it takes and getting everything to line up correctly. The past several I've had, the sound was out of sync with the video. Hopefully, whenever I go to look over this one, everything will line up perfectly and won't be an issue. And I will see you on the next episode of this, as well as I hope to do some other games too as well. Not just this one. I plan on maybe Stellaris. I know it's a 4X strategy game, so that's gonna be a little difficult as far as like capturing the good areas and leaving out the boring areas. Hopefully some Scrap Mechanic. I have been playing it for a bit now and have built a pretty interesting base. It's still under construction, but I hope to show that off as well at some point. Thank you and have a great time.